Okay, so it seems like we're covering this again, and obviously this is to do with VexMLK, who's been facing a lot of hate and harassment over online due to her leaving GamerSupps. Now, obviously, she put out this announcement on her Discord saying, everyone, as of today, I'm no longer partnered with GamerSupps, and obviously we covered this in my last video, where essentially we talked about the fact that some people were trying to kind of like draw her into like the Sinder kind of drama, which obviously, as you guys know, is like months old now, and for some reason they were trying to kind of equate it to that and bring her into it, and something like that, where she had to even make a response by saying that she loved like Shy Lily and people like that, and that she doesn't really support any of that kind of stuff. But again, it's just so like weird, because again, there was no mention of Sinder, there was no mention of anything to do with that kind of stuff, but they were still trying to drag her into it, which was incredibly weird. And obviously a lot of people were fighting back against it, and it's great to see there's been a lot of support for Vex since then. But obviously it got even worse, as recently it seems like there's been some people behind the scenes DMing other VTubers and stuff, trying to kind of like make it out to seem like Vex is like a bad person or whatever. Obviously they say there's no way DMing my mutuals is insane behavior, but really clout, God forbid I make a post about relevant issues about this past week, I guess. And obviously, yeah, this is a DM that they got, obviously, in response to a tweet saying, if the only reason you dislike me because I don't care about Sinder, you're weird. And obviously they said, sorry to bother you, but Vex or VexMLK is trying to stir stuff up for clout. Now, let's be real, if you've been attacked and, harassed by the kind of a community, right, where you've literally got you've got nothing to do with the Sinder situation or whatever, and you're being attacked for that, I think you're allowed to tweet about it. I feel like you're allowed to talk about it and tell people, hey, stop being weird. I don't care about the Sinder stuff. I just want to get on with what I'm doing. She's not saying that she doesn't care about Sinder in the way that, she's trying to like, I don't care about her because she's a horrible person. No, she's not saying that. She's saying, I don't care because I don't want to be involved in this, and I just kind of want to move on with my kind of life. And obviously that is what is really being said here. But obviously some people are behind the scenes. Obviously this is a person called Skull. I don't know who they are, but essentially, yeah, it says, sorry to bother you, but Vex or VexMLK is trying to stir stuff up for clout. It's not for clout. Honestly, it's more of a situation of, she's just trying to get this off of her chest, because again, she's been kind of attacked for this for the past like week or so, right? Obviously as well, Kitsuneru also put out a post like this too, saying, so don't do this. And obviously this is exactly the same message. I'm not sure if this is the same person. It might be, because the message is almost exactly the same, and they say the same thing. They're trying to stir stuff up for clout. It's not for clout. Let's just be real. It is not for clout. And obviously they're saying, Kitsu replied to this saying, bro, how is this stirring stuff up? Plus, why would you DM me that? Did nobody even mention Sinder anywhere near her? Sorry, did not know what to do. Like, brother, they literally did. There was multiple messages going towards Vex talking about Sinder and dragging her into it. That's the main reason why Vex was talking about it in the first place, And Kitsu says they did. How about you don't go assuming stuff? I mean, I can see from your screenshot she got you blocked. You seem to be having a personal bias. Why would you drag me into this? And yeah, that's 100% true. Why is Kitsunero being dragged into this? Again, I don't know what relationship Kitsu has with Vex or anything like that. But obviously, yeah, it seems like, they're trying to drag Kitsu into this. Now, and it might be due to this post that she put up by saying, like, random food for thought, I do want Sinder to come back. I'm a firm believer in second chances, which is 100% true, by the way. I think the Sinder, should have a second chance to come back. It's just more so, will the community be welcoming her to her for coming back? I don't know if maybe they thought like, oh, maybe she's on her side this time with this post or something, so I should go DM her about this. I don't know if that's maybe their like thought and reasoning behind it, but again, it is still completely unhinged to be going into mutuals and other VTubers DMs, telling them, hey, did you see this? They're trying to stir up clout. Get them. Like, who cares? Like, who actually cares? Obviously, we can go on to the actual original message here. As you can see, she says, if the only reason you dislike me is because I don't care about Sinder, you're weird. And obviously said, what if the only reason I don't like you is because I don't know you, no hate, but indifferent? Said, what? That's the reason? It said, the fact that you got hate for that is stupid. You can be very aggressive, but you don't deserve the hate because of all things. Which, yeah, is 100% true. She didn't deserve any hate from this. Let's just like kind of reel it back into what this originally was. It was a GamerSupps announcement that she made saying that she was no longer going to be partnering with GamerSupps. And then obviously someone tried to bring Sinder into it, and somehow I don't even know how they were brought into this. I don't know how they tried to kind of assimilate this to it, because obviously Sinder has been on a big break recently. It's got nothing to do with it, right? It's literally just, you know, she clearly just doesn't want to partner with GamerSupps anymore for whatever reason that might be, right? And that's totally within her right. And obviously, you know, she's also been talking about other stuff, which we'll get into. But also as well, this is something that I missed out last time I actually covered this. They're also sending some pretty terrible messages. Now, I don't know if this is the same crowd as the ones that have been dragging, you know, the Sinder stuff. But again, obviously, there's been some people as well, you know, with a lot of this hate, kind of saying, you know, she put out this post saying, I genuinely don't want to battle cancer a 6th time, which obviously is horrible. They say, hopefully it wins this time, pray. Which, you know, that's a pretty disgusting message to be putting on someone's page, which I think is absolutely horrible. And you can see, you know, it's clearly like a burner account that they've made, 1 follower, 2 following. So again, absolutely horrible. And obviously there's been people as well talking apparently in comment sections too. Again, I don't think this was in a different video. I looked on my video, it wasn't there, so I'm guessing it was on someone else's. But obviously they say the first reply is an ex-moderator and friend at a Razor Wolf. Obviously, yeah, so essentially this is in response to you know, obviously the DM. And they say, you guys say, yeah, you folks wonder why you're weird, Jesus Christ. They say it gets worse. Don't know if this is important or not. And obviously they say, as someone who has extensive knowledge of VexMLK as a previous friend and mod, it's very fun seeing that some of the stupid things that she has said recently. And obviously someone said below, isn't she the one that scams people using her illness? Which is crazy to say. Obviously, yeah, so they say the first reply is from an ex-moderator and friend. He does not have extensive knowledge about me, and he left the community without word after I broke up with my ex-fiance back in 2022. He took the side of my abuser and talked badly about me after he left the community and my mod team without so much as a bye. I don't know who the second comment is, but I have a whole thread confirming the legitimacy of my illness, as well as living proof via my mod team and partner. I stopped posting proof publicly due to doxing, and because I simply shouldn't have to. I show the receipts and everything necessary to appropriate individuals to make sure I remain honest and open with my team and my community. I've never once asked for anything I did not need, and I have never scammed anyone for anything. Asking for help was and remains one of the hardest things I've ever done besides fight cancer in general. I never asked anything that I don't need. Content creation is my job, but I try very hard not to make everyone feel obligated to support me monetarily. I stress every single day, always put yourself and your needs and your wants first before anyone else. So obviously, yeah, that's 100% true. If you guys saw the thread, obviously she actually made a post thanking me for the video I made on the last one, and I even put in the like reply section, oh, I just saw that you have a cancer prevention donation thing going up. Obviously she's trying to raise money for an appointment, right? And I was like, oh, I can put that in the chat, I can put that in the comment section. And you know, she wasn't like super pushy about it. She was like, oh yeah, if you want to, you know, that would help. Like, she wasn't very, you know, pushy, which obviously tells me, you know, exactly what kind of person she is whenever it comes to, you know, asking for money things. She isn't like the type that is just going to jump on any opportunity or is going to like force or beg you for money. You know, she is very kind of relaxed about it, and, you know, isn't too bothered if, you know, you don't want to, or, you know, whatever. It's just one of these things where, you know, she is just super relaxed and not, you know, pushy or anything about it, which is, you know, the best way to be about it. And obviously that backs up exactly what she says in the statement. You know, they say, Razor, you're a piece of garbage. You left my mod team and the community without an explanation and without uttering a single word to anyone. You became friends with the man who abused and used me for 10 years. And after I made him leave, you followed. You were very obviously never my friend. And if you have something to say it to me or shut up. How dare you, how dare anyone say I've scammed anyone? How dare you? How can you? I would never and have never. And anyone who believes I have clearly is willfully ignorant and wants a reason to dislike me. I don't understand why. And yeah, I think that is like the moral of this. Well, not moral of the story, but the kind of you know, summarization of the story, I guess, is why. You know, I don't know why so many people are so hateful towards Vex and so many people are so negative towards her, especially after everything that she's gone through, you know. And I think that obviously a lot of people have been, you know, going after her for that Sinder stuff and etc. But again, she doesn't deserve any of the hate that she's been getting. You know, she seems like a very nice person, and obviously, you know, she's literally just left GamerSupps, and it's caused all of this. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how it's got to this point, and it's ridiculous how people are trying to spread stuff in DMs and are trying to get her mutuals and get other VTubers right to obviously, you know, I guess, I don't know what their plan was here, maybe for them just to not be friends with them. Again, it's like they're just trying to ruin her life here, you know, it's just like, bro, what are we doing? Let's be real. Like, sure, if you want to call her out on something that you disagree with, yeah, that's fine. But obviously, you know, what's happening in here is they're going into DMs, they're going, you know, into other people's kind of private messages, right? Messaging them about this kind of stuff and not even getting the information right in the first place, you know? Obviously, they're saying, you know, nobody even mentioned Sinder. They're not even right on that, you know? At least be right if you're going to call out someone. And obviously, if there's nothing right to call out, then obviously, well, you know, they don't need calling out, do they? And obviously, I feel like this is one of these things that, you know, obviously just sucks. And it seems like there probably will be more harassment going her way, but I really do hope that it does kind of, you know, fizzle out and people just kind of forget about it. Because again, it is, I think, one of these isolated incidents, well, not isolated incidents, but one of these kind of incidents where essentially, you know, people get very, very toxic and horrible for like a week or so, and then they just move on to the next person, which I think is absolutely horrible that that even happens. But again, I really do hope that Vex obviously can deal with it and just kind of, you know, obviously report anybody that is doing anything negative, like, for example, that guy who replied to her cancer message, which I think is absolutely disgusting. Again, I hope that she can obviously take a lot of action against that. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GamerSupps, use my code Kazza, get 10% off again. They've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. I definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.